everyone, it's Michelle here, back from Financial Hair and Faith. In my last video, I shared 8 ways that you can stimulate hair growth. And in this video, I am sharing 8 ways that help with length retention. Now, some of these you may have heard of before, and others may be new to you. The first one is protective styling. Everybody knows about protective styling. It is very effective at helping with length retention. You want to retain the length that you grow. If you wear your hair out all of the time, allowing it to graze your shoulders and your clothes and being, exposed, your ends exposed to the environment, then you're probably going to incur more breakage than you should. Protective styling is like the #1 way that you can help to retain more length. Now, I'm a bun girl. I tend to do buns mostly all of the time just because it's easy. I can tie it down with a scarf, get up in the morning, take it off, and just be done with it. It's very low maintenance as well as being a protective style. The second way that you can help with retaining length is to baby how you handle your ends. And when I say baby, I don't mean just, when you're styling your hair. Of course, when you're styling your hair, be careful. But doing things like adding an oil to your ends helps when you are trying to detangle, when you're trying to style it, for them to be easily separated and manipulated so that there's much less breakage. I love this lemongrass black Jamaican castor oil by OK Naturals. I use this. I love how it smells, and lemongrass is also a fortifier. What I like to do when it comes to babying my ends is during the wash process, during the styling, the deep conditioning, everything. I am very careful when separating to handle my ends very carefully to minimize the amount of breakage that can occur. The third way that you can reduce breakage, thereby length retention, is to finger detangle. Now, I'm not saying that you have to finger detangle exclusively. Even if your hair is fine, if you have lots of density, finger detangling may not remove all of the shed hair. What you can do is start the process out with finger detangling. So when you're sectioning your hair to detangle it, start out by pulling apart, separating very carefully, and removing shed hair as much as you can with your fingers. When you're done, then go in with your wide tooth comb or your whatever you use to detangle. In addition to that, you will greatly cut down the amount of breakage that you will receive. The fourth way that you can improve your length retention rate is when you do decide to use that comb, use a seamless comb. This was pretty expensive. It was like almost $30. It might have been more than that. I bought it a while ago. But when you use a seamless comb, because there are no seams, your hair is more protected against the risk of breakage. Now, I only use this when I have tons of conditioner in my hair in the shower, and I will start out, like I said, with finger detangling and then follow up with this wide tooth seamless comb. There's much less breakage, if any at all. Okay, so the next method for retaining length is when you handle your hair, do not handle it dry. Handle it damp or wet. Obviously, if you're washing your hair, it's wet, so you're handling it while it's wet. But let's say you're in the process of styling. Sometimes what I like to do, if I'm not disturbing the curl pattern, if I do a wash and go, that's a little bit different. I don't really have to handle the hair. But when you're separating your hair to do anything, do it damp. I use my green tea spray. I no longer use, which I've shown in the previous video, the henna tea spray. I feel that it was a bit harsh on my hair, leaving the henna in. I love henna. I love it as a full strength and also as a gloss, but I feel that I'm getting much better results using the green tea spray. So what I do is I literally just spritz my hair, and I use it as a means to sort of dampen up the hair so that I can manipulate it to separate it and do whatever I need to do, and that helps me not to have any breakage whatsoever. When I used to handle my hair in a dry state, I would see a little bit of breakage. So handle your hair, baby your ends, use a little something. You could just use water even. It's just to help with softening up the hair so that you can manipulate it for styling or whatever it is that you plan to do. And that brings me to number 6. Try Ayurvedic herbs for length retention. Henna, cassia, fenugreek, bingraj. There's so many herbs. Green tea powder, rose powder. They can be combined to make a number of combinations for your own DIY strengthening treatment. I have found that when I started using henna many years ago, I really don't have to use any heavy protein treatments like Apogee. Henna is my staple treatment. I like to switch it up with cassia, but you know, henna also covers the gray, so it's not going anywhere. But also, since I find other Ayurvedic herbs, they have helped with fortifying my strands, which in turn increases the rate of length retention. The seventh way that helps you to retain length is when you go outdoors, cover your ends with satin. So I have these satin strips that I use to also stretch my hair, but you can cut these in various sizes. I have different, different ones. And what you could do is, say you wear your hair even in a curly state and it's out. You could loosely gather your hair, wrap just the ends in a little piece of satin and secure it just to where you get to your destination. Once you get to your destination, your curls should still be intact. You're not doing it really tight. You're just using it to protect your hair from the elements. This is especially critical when it is freezing out like it is right now. It is freaking, if you guys could see the Hudson River. I live literally across the street from the river. It is frozen over. If it's doing that to the river, imagine what the weather will do to your hair if you don't protect it. Pieces of satin, you can get these from any fabric store and just protect that hair. Alternatively, what you could do is, let's say you have your hair out and it's just, straight, or even just out and curly. You can gather again your hair and take a satin scarf and just literally, roll your ends and then wrap the little piece of scarf around it, tie it loosely until you get to your destination. That's just a great way to help with retaining length, and it does preserve the style. And the final way that will help you retain length is to make sure that your hair is moisture and protein balanced. Now, some people need to moisturize daily. Some people find that they can moisturize weekly, bi-weekly, whatever it is. Some people do protein treatments weekly, some do them monthly, some people do them every 3 months. What you need to do is find out what really it is that works for your hair. I do very light treatments that are like protein or are protein every week. If I'm using henna or cassia, then I don't need to use the protein. If I don't do that, I use a DIY goat's milk conditioner recipe that I faithfully use. It is like amazing. It's a light protein treatment. It could be considered heavy, I don't know, but it's balanced with moisture because it contains honey and it contains oils. But anyway, that is the final thought for this video. I hope that you found it helpful. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, if you liked it. If you didn't like it, well, don't do anything, because that's just not nice. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Have a very blessed day. And don't forget to subscribe to this here channel.